Hi everybody. I wanted to give you a review of my first impressions of the Radrover 2019 Radrover. I have 45 miles on it, 45 amazing miles on it, and I want to give you a couple of hints and a couple of tips of what I experienced for those of you who have not bought one yet. First of all, I'm gonna stand up and I'm 6 feet. This thing is a monster. You can see this goes up here. This goes all the way up here to my rib cage. This is a big bike. Sometimes it's a little bit misleading in the pictures that this is a huge bike. So that's my first. This is a machine. Having said that, 45 miles on it, performed really well. I wrote in a previous post that I feel like I'm gonna be 14 again, and I really am. It is so much joy to ride it. Several times I went out to just go around the block. An hour later, my wife texts me, "Where are you?" So that tells you something. Anyway, a couple of negatives that aren't really a negative because it's the derailleur system. I have adjusted it myself via YouTube videos, and it's not 100% adjusted, so I can't really say. The first gear sometimes skips a little bit, but that's really the only thing, and I think it's based on my doing it rather than professional. So my suggestion is to have a professional do a first really good tune-up after maybe 50-100 miles to give it 100%. That's the derailleur. Everything works well otherwise. The brakes, some people said that they want hydraulic brakes. I am used to older brakes. I've never ridden with hydraulic brakes, so I'm fine with them as they are. I have a pretty strong grip, so I really don't mind gripping it, and it's fine for me. But some people might feel otherwise. It rides really well. I think one of the best features of those fat tires is when you're on a paved road and you get off the shoulder and back onto the shoulder, those fat tires have no problem with that. With narrower tires, you might have a little bit of a problem switching between the shoulder, if there's no shoulder, the grass, and the paved part. With those tires, you just go in and out, and I think it's a little safer. But you need to be, I think, if you're less than 6 feet, it's tough. So, it's a big bike. I said that already, but I repeat, it's a big bike. Accessories. I have put on the C9, the Cloud9 saddle right away. I had an older, a little bit of play here saddle post that I put on. It's fine. Saddle is good. No complaints there. My favorite is the front rack. I didn't want to put a back rack on it because it makes it look a little bit more like a regular bike, and I love the look it has. But the front rack has several really good pluses that I appreciate. First of all, it works a little bit like an extender of the handlebar, so you can put stuff down here. See, you have some space here where you can put stuff. I will mount the bike light, the second bike light, on there in a little while. What I also like is you can put your lock. I have the Kryptonite Evolution lock with the cable plus the alarm. So you have the remote for the alarm, and the alarm is back here. That is also a light for the back, right? But it also is an alarm in case somebody touches the bike and it moves. It gives you a loud alarm. I'm gonna put all that in the show notes. I think that's a really great thing combined with a lock. That's tough for somebody to do anything because everybody around it will be alerted. The other thing I love, and that is so cool, is the net. You can get that on Amazon. It's a 2-inch netting, 2-inch space, square inch space. It's $10. What is cool is you can, while you ride, I love to switch, you have your regular glasses, you just, while you ride, you put them back in here and you take the other sunglasses out. You can have a sandwich, you can have any other stuff that you just put in there for storage, and you can take it out immediately with no delay. That's why I didn't go for the back rack as well, because you don't have access to it while you ride. This one, you're right here and you can grab your sunglasses or something else that you want. I'm gonna have a little speaker in there, so I really enjoy that. The other thing I like is this little thing here, also $10 at Amazon. It's silicone, it stretches really well, your phone is secure, it wobbles a little bit, but who cares. One thing I think is very weak is the front light that comes with the bike. I put it on the rack. I first wanted to not install it because I thought I have this really good 1200 lumen double light that I got, which is awesome. I installed that, but then I thought it's probably a good idea to have the regular lights as constant running lights, daylight running lights. So whenever I go on the bike, I turn the lights on. They don't use a lot of electricity, and it's just a visibility issue for me that I use this light for daylight running lights, and then my additional 1200 lumen light for actually lighting up the road. And I rode at night last night. That's when I got the text from my wife saying, "Where are you?" And it works perfectly. So that's that. I also got the MRI Denver edition for the front rack. So that means you put that in between the front rack and the bike, and it gives you 2 bottle holders. I put one very cheap one from Target in there, which is, I'm gonna take out again because this is ridiculous. It just basically, it fell out. Whatever I had fell out yesterday, a bottle of water. So I need to have a metal one, but they work perfectly, and you can get a 20-ounce bottle, and it comes up below the handlebar. Works perfectly, and you can have 2, one on either side. Maybe my second one is lower because of the light, but it still works out. What else? I have a little bit of a little bag here, which is my favorite because it holds my wallet, it holds Allen keys, it holds additional stuff. It's out of the way. I decided to put that on rather than this one. I got that before I got the bike, and it is interesting and it is good, and I tested it, but the one problem is in the summer the phone gets really, really hot because there's no airflow in there. And I used it on a different bike. I took it out after half an hour and it was very hot. So I might use that in the winter, but not in the summer. Let's see what else I got. The little mirror is okay. I like it because it gives you an idea that somebody's behind you, and it doesn't take any more space off the handlebar, which is very tight as it is, unless you put a different one on it, which I originally thought I would, but now I'm totally fine with the height. And I can't think of anything else. Yeah, so I go in the pedal assist 2 and 3. 2 is the general one, mostly used. 3, a little bit uphill, a little faster. And I've done 20 miles yesterday, and I was only down 1 bar. Actually 2 bars at the end, of very end, but then I really hauled ass at the end. I did it in PS5 and I really went for it. It's very stable. You can take your hands off the handlebars with no problems at all. Don't quote me on this, but it's very stable, much more stable than a bike with narrower tires. So if you're looking for that, easy transition between grass, pavement, gravel, sand, the wide tires are, you can't beat it. You cannot beat it. I hope this was helpful. I'm gonna give you another review after a couple of 100 miles, but for now I'm gonna give it an A+, because I love it, and in 2 minutes I'm gonna go on it and ride.